Right, I thought people might be interested in what it takes to strip the bolt on the EM2 as we're now cleaning the thing. So the professional is now taking over because, yeah, well, we're not going to film his face unless he's all right with that.
To strip the bolt, you've got to press this in and turn it, but you're not going to do that while the striker's still cocked. So
Yeah.
to fire it off, you just press down on.
Try and keep it on the bench if we can.
Put some lights on.
Whatever you like.
So there's the sear. If I press on that,
that's normally depressed by that bit at the back.
But it won't do it because these.
Right, so locking flaps are in the way.
So pressing on that, there's nothing.
Yeah.
There the locking flaps are out.
Give it a whack. Get your flaps out.
How dare you? And then when you press on that, then with some pressure, because there's quite a lot of pressure on that.
There is, yeah.
Then the striker will go forward and you can press that and turn it. And just sit them down. And it will eventually come out. Come on, you bastard, come out. And then you've got 2 springs in there.
Yeah, 2 springs.
And you've got
one of which was added later, I believe.
Firing pin in the sleeve.
Yeah.
And note. Remember I said about the burrs? So this is fired 80 rounds and it's burred out like the other one was.
Yes. Design flaw, metallurgy, not quite sure.
There's a lot of
Stop moving about.
on the firing pin as well.
Yeah, I can't quite focus. Oh, there we go. That's got it.
So then
just about see. Yeah, the firing pin is getting carbon fouling.
Coming by the back around the edges of the cases, although they didn't appear to be that dirty. Yeah, it smells like.
It definitely does. Yeah, thanks for that. Where did you put that?
What?
Ah, got it. Just trying to keep track.
And the other thing is these things have a tendency to wobble it about, they'll eventually fall out.
Yep.
And that's as far as you normally strip it.
Yes.
Do you want to strip it further and show the extractor?
Up to you.
Yes.
It does get across the point of how unbelievably complicated this weapon is.
The extractor, there's a spring there, so if you lift the spring out of the slot.
This is called the bolt, and it is a nice unitary cylindrical thing, but it's actually the bolt carrier and the bolt in one.
Look at it, that cut out there, so that you can stick a tool in there and lift like that.
Yeah.
And then it will just come out. So there's the spring. There's the extractor. Now, if you want to strip this bit, what did we call this in the end?
I can't remember.
The thing that prevents the bolt from going forward.
Yeah.
Until it's actually,
the firing pin from going forward.
Not the firing pin. The cock and handle gas cylinder.
Sorry. Yep.
So that just.
So this confuses even us.
Goes out the front, and then there's that piece. And the only other piece that we haven't stripped down. You want me to strip it down? It's not that easy to strip down. Having said that, it's not that difficult either.
You want to do it, I can tell.
Right, all you've got to do is, there's the actual spring.
Yeah.
There's my pointer gone. So there's the sear, and there's the spring.
What you need is a plastic finger, hand on a stick, like Matthias has got.
Can't reach it? No, I better not say what I was going to say.
No, don't.
Because you've got it on there.
This is not for public consumption, but
I don't have a pointer
nonetheless. Right, well, I'm not going to follow you around the workshop.
Yes, there's a pointer.
Oh, yes. Yes, I forgot you had your own version of the patented plastic poking.
Sear spring.
Yep.
And to strip this down, right, I'm going to adjust the glasses. Oh, they're gone.
Right, so he's wandered off because he's gone to get his eye protection because this thing's under pressure and may offend if it hits you in the eyes or teeth or anywhere for that matter. You don't want it up your nose, that's for sure.
Can you see in the back end of that? The spring has got like a catch on it, so it's a step.
No. Yep.
So you've got to actually push that up that way and then slide it that way.
It's a long flat spring.
Let's see if I can manage to do it. Not with that, I can't.
This is strictly amateur hour on the filming, I'm afraid. Just noticed there's an Easter egg in shot for our American viewers.
Yeah.
I won't point it out. I'm sure they'll recognise it.
Thinking about it, how does it come apart? It's got to come this way.
We need some intermission music.
We've got the radio in there.
Oh, that's true, actually. This couldn't have gone up to YouTube anyway with all the copyrighted music you're playing in the background.
Yeah. You got enough for what we did, though, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
Let me just get a precision screwdriver. Cheap as it is.
So we've got already lots of bits. That's not a bit. And that's not a bit. But these are all bits. There's your extractor. Probably one of the more sensible bits of the design. In that it's quite robust, or seems to be. It's the end cap that Mike saw Mike taking off. Your nested double springs, one of which was added later to give increased spring pressure. And you've got your firing pin sleeve and firing pin.
So, see the way this strips down, you've got it lifted above the sear.
Oh, sorry, we're looking at the wrong thing.
So
Yep.
that's lifted above the sear, and then push the back end of that spring up and push it forward to
See
clear
why
it.
you weren't entirely keen to do it. I'd forgotten about this bit.
And then once that's out of the way, that should just come out. Yeah, it's free. Again, it's getting that past the catch. And every time you do this, you risk setting the spring slightly.
If you told me that, I would have said don't do it.
I shouldn't know about it. Get it working fine. It's not coming off. For some reason, why is it not coming off?
Failure is always an option. We
Yep.
can leave it there.
No, never fail. The spring will fail. I didn't have it clear enough for the spring.
Someone will edit this, I'm sure. But it won't be me. I haven't actually done any cleaning yet, and possibly I might get away without doing any. Oh, right, there we go.
That's it, actually above the sear. You get to a certain point of the spring.
There we
out.
go.
So that,
What's this bit of nonsense?
this is the sear spring,
Sear spring.
which is the bit that this is the only
Keep it still.
one.
Yep.
I mean, it's not just a straightforward flat spring. It's got a
No.
lug on the end.
So even this single component is a complex thing to manufacture, and then of course to heat treat.
And then you got this, which is a very complex piece to
What
manufacture.
the hell? Where I'd forgotten about that as well. That's your sear.
Yeah.
Multiple different facets to machine on that. Nonsense.
There are many
Wonderful, but
surfaces.
nonsense.
And that operates on, where is it?
Something.
On there.
Yes.
And already this thing is, because of the edges are burring, you feel
Yeah.
it? Can you feel that? You can feel it through the gloves.
Yes, I can, unfortunately.
So that's
This is
where
why we're not shooting this.
that's where the locking
very
catches actually get pushed out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, not very good.
Yeah, so the sear is dropping out of the way and letting
So
that.
this, which was free
Go
80
forward.
odd rounds ago,
Yeah.
let's get the right orientation, is now, you can feel it, that those burrs contacting the edge as it's coming down.
So would it be fair to say we have a bit of a sneaking suspicion that had this thing been allowed to remain in service as rifle number 9 or rifle number 10 or X2E1 or whichever version, there'd have been a long development period, a bit like the SA-80 had, before it was actually fit for service, and it would have always been complex.
Well, if you look at the operations required to make any of these bits,
Yeah.
even that spring,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there must have been an easier way to make that catch on the end.
So just to finish off, let's just put all the bits in shot. I might come back and ask you to do a trigger mech as well, because I'm sure people will be horrified / delighted by that. I mean, look at that. Look at the machining required for that as well. Massively complicated.
I've just realised my screwdriver isn't that quality that I thought it was. The end just fell off it.
Oh dear, that's not good. Better that than the gun breaking. Yeah, so there you go. Oh no, we missed a bit. Firing pin sleeve. Where are your locking flaps? There's one, there's the other. So that's reminiscent of a certain German weapon.
And that would be something that you'd have
I'm
to
sure
change in
viewers
pairs.
can guess. Yes, yeah. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 separate components for your bolt. That's not including the piston / cocking handle mount.
Bolt.
Yeah.
Pin.
This looks familiar.
Extractor, spring, and 2 pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 components.
6 components on the AK bolt, 14 on the E.M.2. Now my maths isn't great. That's more than twice as many.
Do you want to go through a similar thing? I bet I know the answer. Which has got the least components, the AK mechanism or the E.M.2?
Which mechanism?
Well, I reckon, personally,
The whole thing?
the whole thing is, effectively, and this is a later mechanism with a few extra
You're talking
components.
trigger mech, I thought you were. Yeah. Well, maybe for another behind the scenes, we'll come back and show you how these differ. Although I think you can get a good idea just by looking at them. Bearing in mind, this is 1948, design-wise. And this is
early one. Yep.
1946, 47, 48. So
Really
very,
late.
very contemporary. Okay. Yeah, so we've got 2 different AK trigger mechs. So yeah, we'll come back and do that another time. Right.